Welcome back to the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for more Division II basketball here on Midco Sports. Great matchup coming up between Black Hills State and MSU Moorhead. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us alongside former Dragons coach Chad Walthall. I am David Brown, and well, this will certainly be an interesting experience for you yourself, getting to see your old team here for the first time. And they got a big challenge against the team that made the Division II Final Four last year in Black Hills State.
Well, and returned most of their team and probably one of the best players in America. So they've been there and done that. So they probably have a little bit of an advantage over some other teams this early in the year, but tremendously talented team. And again, one of the best players in America returning.
Well, let's get a closer look at the Yellow Jackets from Black Hills State. That player, one of the best in America, Joel Scott, averaging 23 and 10 he did last season. He's back. Most of their starters are back. They added a great transfer in Matthew Ragsdale. This team is poised to make another run, Black Hills State.
Well, and they also added a transfer, a very good transfer. And so, it's going to be really fun to watch them. It's fun to watch experienced teams. Again, MSUM's got an experienced team also. But I'll tell you, I had watched them last year in the Elite Eight, Final Four. They played some of their best basketball. They are very physical, very well coached, defensively very sound. They're going to be a tough opponent for anybody this year. There's no question. And that's why they're number 5 in the country, right?
Absolutely. Meanwhile, your old squad from MSU Moorhead, number 19 in the country. Your old assistant Tim Bergstrasser taking over, but similar to Black Hills State, a veteran team with a lot of guys back from last season.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I know firsthand, they're a very good practice team. They're hard-nosed. Again, like you mentioned, they've got most of their team back. They're led by a couple big wings in Gavin Baumgartner and Lawrence McGee. Both those kids can post it, they can shoot it, they can do things off the bounce. But they're always a well-balanced team. Unfortunately, Gabe Myron, their starting point guard's hurt, and he'll be out today, but they've got a very, very capable field with Jacob Benenga, so it'll be fun to watch.
Good early season test for both squads. Starting lineups and opening tip. When we come back, it's Black Hills State and MSU Moorhead. It's the East-West Challenge on Midco Sports.
Two big football battles and some Sunday afternoon men's basketball coming up this weekend on Midco Sports. On Saturday afternoon, Missouri Valley Conference football, Northern Iowa in Vermillion, the Valley.
Stage. Midco Sports time. On our official streaming app, MidcoSportsPlus.com.
Welcome back. We are ready to go here with the second game of this East-West Challenge, and it's a great one. Black Hills State, the number 5 team in the country, MSU Moorhead, the number 19 team in the country. Dane Zimmer wins the tip. Dragons in the home white uniforms with red trim. Black Hills State in the appropriate enough black road uniforms with yellow trim. Here's Lorenzo McGee. Drives, hangs, and hits. First basket without you as head coach.
Well, and that's why he made it.
Exactly. Of course, happy to have Coach Walthall here, who retired this past offseason and gets to see his team for the first time as an observer.
Well, and I tell you, just both possessions, you see Lorenzo McGee. North and South, like we talked about last game, went strong to the rim. Down here, they look like they're going to post up a little bit Jacob here. They got a big point guard. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Adam Moussa with the jumper there at the other end for Black Hills State. Here's Gavin Baumgartner. He spins inside, unable to hit. Rebound by Joel Scott. Scott able to get it back after fumbling it initially. This Black Hills State team, one of the best in all of Division II last season. Inside, Scott unable to hit. Here comes Jacob Benninga. He'll drive all the way. A little short with the left hand. We're going to have a foul inside on the Yellow Jackets.
Well, and Jacob's very, very quick with the basketball. Probably one of the quickest kids in the league, in the Northern Sun League. Little inside out, gets the rim. The thing with Jacob, he might be a little undersized, but he's probably one of the most tough-minded kids you'll ever be around.
Able to hit the first. Of course, the Benningas all over this MSU Moorhead squad. Younger brother on this team as well, Eddie. Of course, their older brother, Johnny. One of the best in MSU Moorhead history.
Their father probably should pay me off some money at some point.
At some point.
That's what I always tell them.
Jacob goes 1 of 2 at the line. Matthew Ragsdale. Good defense there by McGee. Benninga tries to feed Zimmer inside. Zimmer gets the step in the lane.
Great screen roll game there. Jacob under control. Dane Zimmer with great hands, great finish.
5-2 Dragons here early. Scott had it poked away, able to tip it to Moussa. Shot clock under 10 for Adam Moussa. Long baseline jumper is off. Tapped out of bounds, it'll stay with Black Hills State.
Boy, I tell you what, they got us on a switch there. But the thing is, Joel Scott didn't get that rebound, but just by him being in the area, 2 versus 1, made them tip it out. Now they get the ball back. Oh boy, that's a great play.
And Scott inside will have the opportunity to shoot at the line as he's fouled.
That's 2 guys that played together a little bit. They just looked at each other and said, "We're going to do this." They didn't play the play that time. They did something on their own and just read the defense.
Foul on Dane Zimmer. Scott hits the first. Here is the starting lineup for Black Hills State. Joel Scott, an All-American. Adam Moussa, PJ Hayes, and then the transfer we talked about, Matthew Ragsdale from Western Colorado. So Joel Scott led the conference, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, in scoring last season. Ragsdale, Western Colorado, was second in the conference, and they get him as a transfer.
Man, coach is living right.
Here are the MSU Moorhead starters: Jaden Stanley Williams, Lorenzo McGee with the ball, Jacob Benninga, Gavin Baumgartner, and Dane Zimmer. And Zimmer will fire the 3. That one off, gets his own rebound, and slams it in. In the corner, here's Dukic. Behind the back pass, out. PJ Hayes unable to hit the 3.
And down here, Dane Zimmer, that's how he plays. Mistakes, doesn't matter. He plays the next play. You can see misses a shot, fouls his own shot. Great play.
Baumgartner got tied up inside. It's going to be a jump possession, arrow in the favor of the Yellow Jackets. And Baumgartner got hit on the mouth a little bit.
That's what you'll see both out of Gavin Baumgartner and Lorenzo McGee. They'll try to get in the paint. They'll post up. They're bigger guards. They're kind of inverted. So their guards will end up posting up maybe more than their bigs sometimes, and their bigs will shoot 3s. That's one of the advantages that they have.
Here's Scott working against Zimmer. Up and under, can't finish. Here's Jaden Stanley Williams driving baseline. Now Zimmer driving baseline. Scott fell down. 3 is off from Stanley Williams. Here's Moussa driving against Benninga. Good defense by Jacob Benninga. Crosses over Scott, lays it up. Stanley Williams gets the offensive rebound, and he'll go to the line.
Well, no, even though Jacob missed the layup, it caused rotation. And again, because of rotation, there's no block out. Good job by Jaden Williams getting his second shot.
Able to hit the first, transfer from Moorhead State in Kentucky. When you brought him into the program, what'd you like about him?
Well, his work ethic immediately, and sometimes for transfers, it takes really till after Christmas to get into the new system and the flow. I've really never had a transfer that adjusted so easily, not only to the game that we wanted to play, but also to his teammates. Really had a terrific year last year. Expect big things from him this season.
He hits both 9-4 Dragons with the early edge. Benninga nearly got the steal there. Moussa gets it back. Scott, mismatch inside against Benninga. And he takes full advantage. He'll have an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Yeah, and I think Black Hills will keep going to that. If they keep switching that or they end up getting switched accidentally, they're going to exploit it right away. And again, that's part of an experienced team. They see the mismatch, they're going to go right to them.
Scott's got about 8 inches on Jacob Benninga.
Well, I tell you what, you look at Scott's stats last year, 61% from the field, 39 from 3, shot 231 free throws, 11 rebounds. My goodness.
Scott could not complete the three-point play. Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Player of the Year last season, All-American. You mentioned his numbers, led the conference in scoring, second in rebounding. First-team All-Conference player each of the last 3 years. Joel Scott, number 1. Certainly does it all for Black Hills State. That one's off, but the rebound and the putback by Logan Kinsey. Kinsey, a freshman from Spring Lake Park High School near the Twin Cities area. And he just comes in off the backside and is able to get the and one.
Well, and I tell you, one of the strong points of MSUM over the last few years has been their offensive rebounding, and that's something that Logan, I mean, there was no rotation there. That was just a hustle play. Nice job by the freshman.
And he does complete the three-point play. Quick substitution now, Trevor Kaiser coming in for MSUM, and Benninga will take a seat.
Well, this will be interesting. Who plays point guard for MSUM? Jacobs starting in this place. It'll be interesting who brings the ball up most of the time.
Moussa got the step, corner kick. Sava Dukic takes advantage with a wide open corner three. Jaden Stanley Williams in and out on that three. Rebound tap, finds its way in the hands of Kinsey.
Again, and good job by Trevor keeping the ball alive. Again, another offensive crash.
5-point edge here for the Dragons. 5 minutes into this one.
Okay, switch.
Scott posting up Baumgartner. Inside, too tough.
Yeah, and again, I think they're just going to keep going down there if they keep switching like that. Scott's so poised in the post.
McGee, the crossover, a little too strong. Moussa being hounded by Baumgartner. A foul call there on Baumgartner. But we will take a timeout here, a little more than 6 minutes into this one. 14-11. MSU Moorhead with the lead over Black Hills State. Dane Zimmer follows up his own miss with the slam. The Dragons early here in Sioux Falls.
Nyberg's Ace is your complete barbecue headquarters. Find everything you need.
Nyberg's live on tune into Midcoast Sports.
This game on Midcoast Sports presented by Sanford Health. Here for all, here for good.
A little more than 6 minutes into this one, 14-11. MSU Moorhead with the lead over Black Hills State. Dave Brown, former Dragons coach Chad Walthall here, and kind of a similar story to our last game between Augustana and South Dakota Mines. The early tempo being set by the offensive glass. Your former team with 4 offensive rebounds that have led to some second chance points.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've either gotten a free throw or a bucket off those offensive rebounds, so that they've converted. But there's a lot of different ways to be successful on a possession, and that's kind of been their way the last 6 minutes.
Feed down low to Ragsdale. They're going to call a personal foul here on Trevor Kaiser.
And now that's a couple inbounds plays that, one was a basket and this one was a free throw. Again, you can get some good things on inbound plays. You can tell these guys have played with each other. They've kind of exploited some defensive lapses.
Ragsdale hits the first, I mentioned. He was a part of Western Colorado last year, another team in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, second in the conference in scoring. But he and Joel Scott were actually high school teammates, and so that relationship had already been formed. He had relationships with other members of the team. So transferring to a rival in the conference, and boy, what an addition for a team that was already highly touted coming into this season. McGee hit 3 with a defender in his face.
Yeah, and he can do that. Sometimes he's more comfortable with the defender in his face than not. Actually, it was really well defended. Just
good cut inside, and Ragsdale puts it in.
Nice baseline screen, little flex cut there. Probably need a little bit of help with the hedge man.
McGee working inside, picked off. Adam Moussa with the steal. Ragsdale spots up, in and out, and then a crash on the glass, and it'll be a loose ball foul on the Yellow Jackets. They're going to be Kalen Hearn.
MSUM's got a set coming here. See what happens here.
Kinsey, corner 3 splashes in. Boy, Logan Kinsey, the freshman, with 8 points here early.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Ragsdale hangs, can't hit. Zimmer the board. Benninga splits the defense, tried to get it back out. Baumgartner saves it. Dragons slowing things down here.
You can see where the bigs are out and they got Gavin in the post. They'll play like that a while.
That 3 from McGee off the back iron. Kinsey the board. Benninga can't hit that second chance opportunity. Moussa leading things in transition. Skips it over to Ragsdale. Nice feed inside. Shanklin. Dragons hounding Shanklin. And they're going to grant the timeout to Ryan Thompson and Black Hill State. Shanklin was kind of caught on the baseline there.
Both teams playing in transition, getting some nice things.
We'll stay here on this 30-second timeout, but you see the pace starting to pick up a little bit. And when you look at some of the leading scorers, again, Kinsey off the bench with 8. Logan Kinsey, 6'6" freshman from Blaine, Minnesota. He's doing well early, and then for Black Hill State, Joel Scott leads them with 6.
You know, that's a hard thing as a freshman to come in here and be as poised as he's playing. I mean, I obviously recruited him with Tim and Spencer, and it's just amazing how much poise he has. I knew he had poise, but man, I tell you, he looks really comfortable out there.
And of course, he's got a brother, Will Kinsey, who's also there as well. So we'll see what this new class develops. And we were talking a little bit off air, just how interesting it is to observe this team that you basically recruited from afar. But what do you like about them so far?
Well, really nothing surprises me because they're such a great group of practice kids, which always, usually anyway, carries over on the floor. So, I think one of the things Tim will probably try to do is develop their bench more as the season goes on. They lost a lot of bench players last year. They were pretty productive, and so we'll see how that goes throughout the year.
Scott, very tough inside, working against Zimmer.
There's 3 inbound plays on that's 6 points on 3 inbound plays. Nice job by Black Hills.
Zimmer. 3 from the top of the key is off. Moussa stops and pops him to the elbow. Got a quick step.
Yeah, I tell you, there's not much you can do there. Gavin had a hand in. Kid just rises up, makes it. You say good job and move on to the next play.
20-19 here. Good back and forth so far between the Dragons and Yellow Jackets. Baumgartner had it poked away. Kick out. Joel Scott for 3. Off the back iron.
One of the things, David, is, obviously MSUM likes to post up their guards, but Black Hill State also has big guards, and so they're able to guard that.
Drew Hagan on that triple. Rebound taken by Jayton Hackley. The feed inside. Nice finish by Riker Cesarek. Black Hill State with its first lead of the ball game. Baumgartner short on that 3. Rebound tapped out, taken by Hackley. transition, working inside, a little off kilter there.
Nice job by Dane walling up. That's not an easy guy to wall up on when Scott's coming at you. Looks like MSUM run a little set here, slow things down a little bit.
Baumgartner working off a screen. They will stay with the Dragons. Pace has picked up, the intensity has picked up here midway through this first half. With 10 minutes to go here, Black Hills State with its first lead of the ball game, 21-20 over MSUM.
Together for his first game. Together. And what matters.
Your modern women representative.
Back, 9:54 to go in the first half, 21-20. Black Hills State over MSU Moorhead. David Brown's Tad Wall call here, and good battle so far. Yellow Jackets just took their first lead of the game, and whereas the first game was a little more helter-skelter, here right now just a combined 3 turnovers, and they're all MSU Moorhead turnovers.
Yeah, well, and those are 2 experienced teams, right? I think you see the difference early in the year. You got a team combined 3 turnovers versus obviously last game where younger teams, newer kids, more mistakes in the first half, obviously.
Benninga got it off the inbounds, couldn't hit though. Moussa. Boy, when he rises up, even when he's fading away, he's just got that elevation.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. I mean, that's a very, very hard thing to guard. And plus, you know, obviously, like you said, he can rise up over you.
Benninga inside, off glass, tough angle with the left. And then he nearly gets the steal off the inbounds. There's that intensity and motor you were talking about earlier.
Listen, to be 5'10" and play in this league, that's what you got to do.
Well, he's listed at 6 feet,
yeah,
so.
Well, I'm 6'5", so.
There you go, okay. So you need to tell whoever's running the Dragons website to correct the heights of your player, or your former players, I should say.
Everybody wants to be at least 6, right?
At least.
Nice job, Jacob, denying and taking thought of things.
Scott working against Jaden Stanley Williams, just backing him down, trying to muscle his way up. Off the back iron.
And really, that's a great job by Jaden. That's all you can do against an All-American like that. I mean, you just got to wall up, make him shoot over top you.
Benninga got some space for 3. That one off the back iron. Kinsey, another offensive rebound for the Dragons. Benninga will wind it up again. In and out again. Moussa kicks it in the corner. Ragsdale for 3. Short. McGee got the switch in the corner. That's Hagan for 3. We'll have a loose ball foul here on MSU Moorhead. Kinsey. Back in, Baumgartner back in for the Dragons. John Shanklin returning for Black Hills State. Shooting has started to dry up a little bit, but the intensity certainly hasn't.
Yeah, and I tell you, I mean, you look like a kid at Kinsey. So, I mean, he's given so much energy. I mean, when he comes in, they don't miss a beat with his energy. He gets things done just by that.
Moussa, another fadeaway. Does not get the friendly bounce. Fight the loose ball over to the Dragons.
Nice job by Jacob. I mean, you know, he's given up a few inches and some weight. Just walled up, made him shoot a tough shot, fading away.
Back to Benninga. Baumgartner inside. Little off balance driving in. Rebound by Black Hills State. Actually, nice feed inside to Scott.
Nice extra pass, had poise, picked it up, didn't force anything. MSUM needs something good here. Things a little helter-skelter last few possessions. Need something solid.
Baumgartner for 3.
That's right.
Rainbow splashes in.
When you need a basket, go to your senior. It's been there, done that. Nice job, Dave, by Dane Zimmer. Handoff, kind of a rub screen.
We're all knotted up at 25 here with less than 7 minutes to go in the first half. Moussa working against Benega. Tough take. Count it plus the foul.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. That was, I mean, Jacob did all you can. I don't know if you follow him or not, but boy, I tell you, walled up nice. But how do you make a shot like that? I mean, the kid is just strong, and he is really strong, and he's hard to guard.
Adam Moussa, second team all-conference last season in the RMAC. Led the conference in assists, averaging nearly 5 assists a ball game, but it's just been shooting here in this first half that's really catching people's attention.
Well, in both games, I think we've seen some great mid-range games from some individuals.
Moussa checks out. Kalen Hearn in for Black Hills State, and people talk a lot about the lost art of the mid-game, but with so much analytics, it's kind of like reverting the other way, where it's like, it's okay to shoot a mid-range jumper.
Especially some of these big guards that can rise up above you. Here's Gavin, another big guard going in the post.
Kick out to McGee. Good crossover, step back, and hits.
Another mid-range, I tell you. And Lorenzo's known for that. He likes that little pullback mid-range. That's, again, very hard to guard.
Ackley, high off glass. That was affected by Zimmer's presence. Baumgartner in transition. McGee working against Scott. Pulls up, hits again.
Well, and there again, you get a matchup where Scott's trying to guard a guard, just like we talk about, you know, guards trying to guard a bigger guard or a big in the post and mismatch in the perimeter. Lorenzo exploited both times.
Dragons retake the lead here, 29-28. Scott. Ragsdale for 3. That one rattles in for Matthew Ragsdale.
Well, and Scott gets a lot done, obviously, just not by shooting. I mean, he didn't like what he had in the post. Played with poise, great kick out to his high school teammate. I wonder if they ever lost a game in high school. Holy cow.
They were state champions their senior year, probably not a surprise.
No, it's certainly not.
I believe they granted the timeout there to Lorenzo McGee. And we will take a timeout as well here. 5:19 to go in the first half. It's been a good one. 31-29. Black Hills State with the edge.
Live on
Ryan Thompson.
And streaming on Midcoast Sports Plus.
Ryan Thompson leading his squad at Black Hills State. 31-29. The edge over MSU Moorhead. Again, this Yellow Jacket team based out in Spearfish, South Dakota. Just became a Division II team about a decade ago. Last season, when they made the run to the Division II semifinals, was actually their first NCAA tournament appearance ever. A new Division II school, and they made a run, won the RMAC Conference Tournament title over Regis, won the South Central region against Colorado Mesa, and then when they get to the Elite Eight in Division II, they're the 8 seed. They shocked the number 1 seed Nova Southeastern in that Elite Eight round, and then in the semifinals, they fell to the eventual national champions from Northwest Missouri State. What a tremendous season for Black Hills State with a lot of veterans back. They're poised to make another run here in this season. McGee hits from the elbow, another mid-range shot.
Well, and the thing is, when you hit your first one, you start playing with more confidence. And again, Lorenzo, that's one of his main main strengths right there in his mid-range. And when he starts hitting it like that, it doesn't matter if you're in his face or not.
Joel Scott's going to get called for an illegal screen here. So back over to the Dragons, and believe it or not, that's going to be the first turnover of the game for Black Hills State.
Well, and they're at 7 assists, 1 turnover for the game. That's, you see why they're an Elite 8 team, an experienced team coming back. I mean, those are winning stats right there when you have 7 assists, 1 turnover. And they went under Lorenzo now.
McGee a little strong on that three.
Looks like they're going to make him make threes out there if they're going to go under ball screens.
Moussa weaving between defenders, stops, pops, can't hit. Baumgartner, a little short on that mid-range. Scott in the post, squaring up McGee, but he shuffled his feet. Scott didn't know what he wanted to do, post or face up.
Well, and I think Lorenzo did a pretty good job, at least making him catch it off the block where he would ideally like to get it. Made him maybe a little more uncomfortable.
Baumgartner inside.
Again, and it's really a post up by the bomb. It's not so much a drive.
Scott down low. Double comes, spins into it. Good defense by Jaden Stanley Williams. A little too much on that pass inside, and it's a turnover for the Dragons.
Yeah, you know, right idea by Jaden. Made it a little more fancy, especially if you're throwing to the freshman. He's going to go crash. I mean, that's what he was doing. Kinsey was ready to go.
Sava Dukic back in for Black Hills State. Caleb Hearn going to the bench.
Scott, I think, is either 4 of 10 or 4 of 11. I mean, that's all you can ask for. I mean, you know, he's shooting at a 61, 62% clip a year ago.
Moussa got the step on Kaiser, and Moussa will go back to the line. So Moussa got the step on Kaiser.
Well, and I see, you know, both teams have bigger guards, and both are utilizing things in the post. And again, with the way the game's played nowadays, you know, teams will play like that, where bigs are out, because a lot of bigs nowadays, they can all shoot the three. Yep. And so if you have bigger guards, you'll use them as the post players. And we've seen it in both teams here. They have exceptional guards that are big and they're comfortable down there. And that's the other thing. Sometimes guards aren't comfortable down there, but both teams, their guards are comfortable in the post.
Second, back to a 1-point game here, 33-32 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Dane Zimmer on the block. Spins, left it short. Moussa thought about a step back three, gets it back from Dukic. Moussa again from the mid-range, gets the friendly roll.
Well, and that time it's over a 6'9" kid, Dane Zimmer.
Baumgartner inside to Zimmer, had it poked away, goes on the floor to get it back. Swing it over to McGee. Shot clock down to 5 for Baumgartner. Has to go up and under. Doesn't get part of the rim. A good defense there by the Yellow Jackets.
Both teams look a little fatigued here. It's been a pretty good clip.
Stanley Williams block on Ragsdale.
Coach Coach Tim wants us to slow things up a little bit, get something organized. Looks like a ball screen, back screen for Zimmer and Gavin.
He's cut off. Baumgartner. Batted away. Zimmer. Off in time. No. Barely drew iron anyway, so it's a shot clock violation for the Dragons. Again, both these teams hustling on the defensive end, but you can see they're fatigued here with 1:12 to go in the half.
Yeah, and again, early in the year that can happen. I mean, both teams played their bench early. They're trying to end with most of their starters on each side. Black Hills going a little bit bigger now with Scott playing the 4, which I don't know if they've done a lot, but they haven't done it all game up until the last couple minutes. Be interesting to see what happens.
Moussa up inside.
Well, I tell you what, he's been the guy for Black Hills this first half. He's just been outstanding.
Baumgartner rejected. And it goes off of his fingertips over to Black Hills State. Get a better look at it here. The block by Moussa.
Yeah, great play, straight up.
Dukic, nice feed inside. Shanklin. They'll call a foul going up.
Yeah, I wonder if Black Hills will go to more of that now in the second half. With Scott at the 4, they go a little bigger.
Foul is on Kinsey, so John Shanklin will go to the line. First one off. But you talk about the size. Shanklin 6'10". With so many posts being able to shoot, you're seeing bigger guards, and honestly, you're seeing guys who are 6'10" that can beat inside-outside guys.
Yeah, it's kind of the way the game's been played most of the time, but these teams exceptionally have guards that can really post it.
Shot clock is off here for the final 20 seconds of the first half. Stanley Williams, nice scoop. Final 5 seconds here of the first half. Dukic off on the 3, and that will be the end of the first 20 minutes. A great back and forth between two highly competitive teams. It's the visitors on the scoreboard, Black Hills State, with a 2-point edge over MSU Moorhead here at halftime. 37-35, Yellow Jackets over the Dragons. Halftime report coming up next here on Midcoast Sports.
At Dakota Workwear, we know the people in our community work hard. Head to Nyberg's season. Play Midcoast.
Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m.
Moorhead, this is the second game of the East-West Challenge here in Sioux Falls today. Halftime here.
Montana State at North Dakota, starting in the final game of the regular season in the Valley. And on Sunday afternoon, Big Sky Summer League men's basketball, Montana State at North Dakota, starting at 1 p.m.
Halftime here, 37-35. Black Hills State with the lead over MSU Moorhead. This is the second game of the East-West Challenge here in Sioux Falls today. Our first game featured Augustana against South Dakota School of Mines. Pretty competitive game in our first game there, Chad. Augustana got off to a good start, but give credit to South Dakota Mines, even though the Vikings led wire to wire. Mines showed some toughness, and it was when the Hard Rockers were a little more poised that they were able to compete in this game against the Vikings.
Yeah, and I think, probably half the game they played with great poise, and then the other half didn't play probably as well as they'd like to with the poise, and that's where Augie really took advantage of the pressure defense, and when they did turn them over, it wasn't just contested shots. It was turnover and layup or turnover wide open 3, and I think that was probably the difference.
Augustana ends up forcing 21 at South Dakota Mines turnover. Zach Johnson had a great game off the bench for Augustana. You saw him there with the layup. He had a career high 24 points on 11 of 15 shooting. J.D. at 15 points on 5 threes. So some new guys on this team. Johnson was on the team last year, just didn't play much, but we saw some new guys step up for Augustana.
Well, and I think Coach Billiter probably has to be fairly pleased with the performance of his team today. And I don't know what it is. It's mid-range day or what, but we've seen some really good mid-range game. And again, it's nice to see some of these guys that really didn't play much last year get an opportunity this year to make maybe a statement that they want to play more minutes. And obviously, they have a few guys that were very impressive today.
Brevin Walter, Colton Mortensen were excellent for South Dakota Mines. Here's Mortensen inside. He left up with 16 points on the night, but Fink, one of the veterans of this team, he had 10, also had a bunch of assists on some made threes. And South Dakota Mines, they got it down within 2. They got it within 4 late, 64-60, but Augustana ended the game on an 18-0 run.
Well, it seemed like fatigue kind of came into play. Augustana and Tom Billiter has been known to, even maybe some of their 8, 9, 10 guys aren't necessarily really ready right now, but he's still throwing them in, getting them experience. I think it paid off that last 5 minutes.
82-60 is your final. Augustana over South Dakota Mines. Will be Augustana against Blackhill State tomorrow. Your old spot, MSU Moorhead, they will face South Dakota Mines here on Saturday. When we come back, we will get a look at our first half stats and highlights from this game. Good one between the Yellow Jackets and the Dragons. 2-point edge for Blackhill State.
Together for his first game of catch. Together for
Modern women.
To us, and that really sparked a number of people, individuals.
soccer field, which will be completed.
Welcome back, 37.
I'm Austin Van Hove, your Modern Women representative.
Welcome back, 37-35. Blackhill State with the lead over MSU Moorhead here at halftime. Taking around with Chad Walthall, and what a fun first half. Kind of a clean game, neither side with a lot of turnovers, some good second chance points. MSU Moorhead an opportunity to stay in this game, but just well played on both sides. You're seeing a lot of physicality, you're seeing a lot of poise from some veteran squads.
Yeah, I think as veteran as both these teams are, I think, Logan Kinsey comes in and really just gave a great, just really played with great energy. He goes 3 for 3 from the field, has 6 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds in 11 minutes, 8 points. Really a great job by him. And I think Lorenzo McGee, you can see what he can do in the mid-range game. Then obviously, Adam Moussa, my goodness, 6 for 10, just rises up, makes some tough shots. I think, he has 14 points, but I think really what's important to look at for a player like him, being a veteran, he's running the show out there most of the time also, and he has 3 assists and 0 turnovers. That's huge. It'll be interesting. I think a big deal in the second half will be how Joel Scott is. 4 for 10, 10 points. Actually, I hate to say this, a really good job defensively. But, yeah, you're right, David. It's been really entertaining.
Well, let's get a look at our highlights from that first half there, brought to you by Modern Woodmen of America and financial representative Austin Van Hove. Either side has had a big lead. MSU Moorhead's biggest lead has been 6. Blackhill State, their biggest lead has been 4. So it's been a 2-possession game throughout the entire first half. And I think you're just seeing both these sides, especially, McGee, a veteran, driving inside, able to hit the mid-range. And then, as you mentioned, Moussa, the guy in the first half for Blackhill State, with his ability to rise up and hit that mid-range for Black Hills.
Yeah, I tell you, it's you see why these two teams are really good. Obviously their experience, their guards are just so big, and when you can do multiple things, you can bounce it, you can post it, you can shoot it. It's just really hard to guard both these teams.
And you saw Matthew Ragsdale there, the transfer from Western Colorado. He's doing nice things for Blackhill State. Jacob Benga, the hustle as always for MSU Moorhead. Again, back and forth affair. Dragons actually led most of that first half, but again, either side led by more than 6 points, looking tight throughout.
I think it's going to be difficult for either team to pull away, just knowing who both these teams are. They're well coached, and I expect a really close game all the way to the final buzzer.
If you look at the numbers overall in that first half, either team shooting necessarily the greatest, a little under 50% for both sides. And MSU Moorhead, that's probably the one thing that stands out besides being +7 on the glass. 3 of 16 from deep. They're getting some decent looks, they're just not hitting them.
Yeah, I think probably that might be a few 2 threes. I'm guessing what Coach Tim is saying, because I think when they get inside the 3 and start getting tough paint points, they're getting some good looks. And when those 3s do come, let's have it inside out. because they tend to be open, and that's what you want. You don't want contested threes, and so when you get the ball inside by the pass or the bounce, you're going to have some open looks, and they might go in a little bit more at a higher clip.
Another stat you don't see on there, even though MSUM is +7 on the glass, they're +5 on the offensive glass. 6 offensive rebounds have led to 9 second chance points for the Dragons. 37-35, Black Hill State over MSU Moorhead. More coming up from the Sanford Pentagon when we return.
Across the rural parts of our country, patients are
Basketball coming at 2:30. Basketball, Montana State at North Dakota. Craft.
Magazine. It's the last game of the Missouri Valley Conference schedule. And
cut up the middle and Hoosman's free.
Playoff implications live on
Challenge that both
Midcoast Sports Plus.
Welcome back here. Second half coming up, but also want to highlight with this East-West Challenge that both these teams will face the teams in our first game on Saturday. It will be Augustana against Black Hill State at 11 a.m. and it will be MSU Moorhead against South Dakota Mines at 1 p.m. So you get a chance to see all 4 teams that you saw here today also on Saturday playing against one another, NSIC versus the RMAC. We will be back here shortly at the Sanford Pentagon for the second half of this one. Black Hill State 37, MSU Moorhead 35. Second half is coming up next.
Nyberg's Ace is your complete barbecue headquarters. Find it.
Champion UND Hockey on
I got you.
Welcome back. Second half will get underway here momentarily. 37-35. Black Hill State will lead over MSU Moorhead. David Brown, Chad Walthall. When you're in a tight game like this at halftime and you know what to expect in the second half,
Well, I think more than anything, you try to keep it really simple. Both teams are playing well, particularly having only the second week of the year. I think probably just you give them 2 or 3 points and then leave it at that. You're not going to reinvent the wheel at halftime, especially with 2 experienced teams. A little bit more with young teams, but with 2 experienced teams, they know what they need to do, and you leave it at that.
Dragons will start the second half with possession. 20 more minutes in this one. Hopefully it's as good as the first 20 minutes. High-low opportunity to McGee, but Scott got his hand up. Deep 3 from Adam Moussa, my goodness. Talk about a heat check coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, I don't think Moussa was even happy with that he shot that.
McGee, drive, almost slipped on the way in, had to get rid of it. Scott got the step in the corner, Ragsdale. Buries a 3.
Boy, and how about Scott? You know, he goes in there, really close to a charge, under control, great kick to his high school teammate and college teammate.
Baumgartner got fouled on the way up, took a hard fall there. Thankfully, Baumgartner appears to be okay, but he fell right on the ball as he got stripped on the way up. But Baumgartner's a tough kid.
Yeah, the thing about Gavin is he can do everything. I mean, I don't think people understand what a great passer he is. And actually, when I was coaching him, I probably, when I'd ever would yell at him and say, "Shoot more, please." I shouldn't say that. I never yelled.
He's able to hit the first. But what's funny in talking to you over the years when I would cover your team, you would always say, we want him to shoot more. And then talking to Tim earlier this week, he's like, yeah, we still want him to shoot more. But that's just kind of the guy he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he has 13 assists through these first 2 games. Doesn't have an assist today, but, I mean, just one of those versatile guards. And his all-around play is why he was NSIC tournament MVP last year.
Well, and you wouldn't trade him for the world, and he's very unselfish and a very good passer.
Moussa working off a screen. McGee might have gotten a piece of that. Saved, but right to Benninga. Dragons have numbers if they want them. Benninga stops on a dime. Hayes able to get back defensively for the Yellow Jackets. Baumgartner slips up and under. What a pretty move.
Well, Gavin does that a lot. He fakes like a handoff and then goes hard right. I've seen that for years. It's one of his favorite moves to do.
Ragsdale working against Benninga. Dragon bench wanting a travel. Shot clock at 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Driving baseline. McGee got a hand in there. Moussa to PJ Hayes, rejected by Dane Zimmer. McGee working against Scott. Inside, they're going to get a reach-in foul on PJ Hayes.
I think one of the things, and I'm a guessing man, but it seems like MSUM has slowed things down and probably moving the ball a little bit more from left to right, right to left. Maybe not been so quick with the shots, and they seem to be getting some good stuff out of it.
Baumgartner inside with the left, strong. Diving on the floor, but Hayes gets the board. Scott. Offensive foul. Baumgartner drew the charge. We'll get another look. You tell me.
I think the refs are always right.
Oh, there you go. You can say that now that you're on this side of it.
They're all terrific.
Hand off to Gavin. Tries to float it back up. Nice inside to Zimmer.
That's two guys playing together for a long time right there.
Dragons retake the lead here. Scott got the step. Finishes high over Zimmer. McGee buries another mid-range.
Well, and I think 3 or 4 of his mid-range shots that he makes have come against Scott on a switch or on a mismatch. Scott probably needs to get up and get a hand in, make him more of a driver.
Speaking of driving, here is Scott against Zimmer. Zimmer can do nothing but shake his head as he gets the reach in. Just see the power of Scott driving inside.
Well, and I tell you, I think he's a great player. So you probably want to try to, again, he can make threes, but if he's going to put a shot up and make a shot, make him make a three. Because obviously he's going to try to attack the rim first and foremost.
Talking with Coach Ryan Thompson earlier this week, says the great players always want to be challenged, so we challenged him to add to his game this year. Always take care of himself from a conditioning standpoint, but to your credit, he said he wanted Scott to improve his perimeter shooting and being able to take guys off the bounce on the perimeter. And so far in this game, he's only attempted 1 3.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, I think if you're MSUM, you'd like him to shoot more threes if you can. Make him shoot, not a driver.
Baumgartner up and under and in.
Gavin has done that for years. A little up and under. What do you learn at? You learn that in elementary school, and he perfected it. He's a great player on the pivot.
Stanley Williams got a hand in there. It will stay with Black Hills State. Jaden Hackley in for the Yellow Jackets. Adam Moussa will take a seat here. Scott spinning inside, using his strength to put it in.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if the coaches challenged him at halftime, quite frankly, and he wasn't playing poorly at all. It looks like he's got a completely different mindset this second half right now.
Tied at 45. Shot clock under 10 for Baumgartner. Somehow weave that to McGee. He's off on the triple. Benninga with a steal. In transition going up. Good recovery there by Hackley. Now it's Hackley on the drive the other way. He puts it in, but they're going to call an offensive foul on Black Hills State. I think he hooked him on the way up. That's a tough call to make. Let's get a look at Hackley here. Ooh, use the forearm. That's a tough one, but that's what they call.
I have no comment.
You're an analyst. You're supposed to comment.
Oh, that's right. I got to change roles here.
Either way, emotions heightened on both sides here with under 15 to go. Benninga poked away, got it back, but got it back out of bounds. Physicality is amped up, emotions have amped up, and we're amped up as well. 45-45, Black Hills State and MSU Moorhead. A couple of top 20 teams in the country duking it out here early.
Together for his first game of catch. Together for his to community.
Sanford Health. Here for all. Here for good.
14:43 to go in this one. We are all tied up 45 apiece between Black Hills State and MSU Moorhead. Dave Brown, Chad Walthall here from the Sanford Pentagon. Happy to have you with us here on a Friday afternoon. First day of the East-West Challenge. Two schools from the NSIC, Augustana, MSUM. Two schools from the RMAC, Black Hills State and South Dakota Mines. They will face the other conference opponent on Saturday. Black Hills State will face Augustana. MSU Moorhead will face South Dakota Mines. But this game right here has been a good one. Tied at 45. And seen a lot of great individual standouts, including Joel Scott there for Black Hills State. And there's a high-quality, intense game here so far as he posts up Jaden Stanley Williams. Inside, plus the foul.
Yeah, to me it looks like they're going to go to Scott quite a bit this second half. I mean, you didn't see a lot of that. You saw it a little bit early in the first half, but clearly Scott's playing with a little bit different mindset here.
In addition to working on his overall game, Scott added 15 pounds of muscle over the summer. He certainly looked just a strong guy inside. The proverbial runs faster, jumps higher.
Looks like he could be a linebacker also. Really impressed with just both teams and how hard they're playing. It's really fun to watch. Yeah, it hasn't always been pretty, which early season games sometimes aren't, but both teams just working extremely hard.
Scott does complete the three-point play. He's got a game high 18 now. Foul away from the ball. We're going to get a hold here. Looks like we're going to get Shanklin. I beg your pardon, to get Ragsdale with a personal.
A little slit play and a flex cut there. Held on the cut.
Inside, goes up strong against a couple Black Hills defenders and puts it in.
Yeah, great penetration by Lorenzo. Again, north and south, going right at the rim, strong.
Hackley, that shot might have been affected by Kinsey.
Yeah, I think he did block that shot.
Baumgartner hangs, rejected by Shanklin. But Baumgartner gets it back. Look at that feed inside, and then another pass to Zimmer. Boy, give Baumgartner the hockey assist there. Two excellent passes. Him to Kinsey, Kinsey to Zimmer.
Go right at him.
Scott working inside again with the left. Too
He's
strong.
so strong. You just can't control him. He can just back anybody up. And he does it in a way where he's not going to pick up a charge.
20 points now for Joel Scott. Kinsey. Zimmer fighting for the offensive rebound. Baumgartner, the kick. Zimmer with a corner three. Here we go, loose ball foul here on Kinsey. Couple opportunities there for the Dragons, just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, and Dane Zimmer can hit that shot. It's not his forte, but when you're wide open like that, you got to take it. I know he's frustrated because he knows he can make it, but he gets another look. Don't be surprised.
Moussa got the step to Scott inside, slams it home, lands on Benninga. Whistle was before the dunk, I believe. Thankfully, everyone's all right. A lot of bodies crashing. And so I believe the whistle was well before the dunk. Yeah, again, Benninga, Scott lucky they didn't get more injured. But it looked like Moussa ran into a Dragon defender on the drive.
They might be checking if it was in the
restricted
area or not. But I think Moussa, that's the first time that he's done something that he was doing in the first half. He took a couple big deep threes, and that's not certainly can hit that. Not his strength, but. I'm guessing by him making that play, it's something good for Black Hills, but I'm not sure what they're looking at.
Again, the whistle blew before the dunk, so I think, again, they're just checking to see if this is within the restricted area, as you mentioned. We're going to look at benches here, and we'll get another look here. So Moussa on the drive. Then Benninga came over late. It looked like he was outside the restricted area.
Yeah, it did.
And then, obviously, after the whistle, there was a little bit of continuation. And that is what the officials are checking, is the restricted area. But while they're taking a look at that, we'll just go over a couple numbers. Lorenzo McGee leads MSU Morehead with 15 points. Joel Scott with 20 for Black State. They're going to call the blocking foul on Benninga, so he was not outside the restricted circle. Or at least that's what we deem. We'll get an explanation. They were looking for shooting motion as well, so it will be Black Hills State ball. The foul's on Benninga. Here you got another look at it. And again, so that doesn't count. So we play on here, 50-49, 12 and a half minutes to go. Yellow Jackets with a 1-point lead. Moussa inside, hangs, hits, and one.
Well, and there you have Moussa going back to what he's really good at, either mid-range or post-up.
Got McGee in the air. Moussa does complete the three-point play. Starting point guard past couple years for the Yellow Jackets. Mentioned he led the conference in assists last season and has added to his offensive repertoire this season. Benninga gets the handoff and nails the three from the top of the key.
Well, and that's what Jacob, good. I don't know what he was in the first half, 1 for 7 or something, but it's not going to affect his next shot. He's a mentally tough kid.
1 of 6 officially in the first half was Benninga. Moussa inside again. Inside Zimmer, cutting to the basket. He'll get a chance at a three-point play.
Boy, screen and roll game. Again, two guys that have played a lot of basketball together. And then credit Dane Zimmer. I mean, that was not an easy pass. It was a pocket pass, and you've got to have good hands for a big man to get that with going in motion to the rim and finishing. Nice play by both those guys.
What's always interesting, when you have big guys rolling to the basket, oftentimes the point guard will do a great pass, but it'll be low. They need to hit them kind of in that hip, kind of aim the pass upwards a little bit. And Zimmer, as you mentioned, able to catch it. That's not easy to do, but when you're 6'9", it's even tougher.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's not a lot of big guys, at least I've coached, that has as good as hands he does.
And he completes the three-point play. We are tied at 55. Moussa directing traffic for Black Hills State. Here's Riker Cicerek. Moussa inside, hangs, tried to use the glass, but good defense by the Dragons. Kinsey able to get it back. Jump possession, error in the favor of the Yellow Jackets.
Now let's see how Black Hills State, now Scott's been on the bench for a little while. You know, you want to keep it close, or if you can even have a lead, that'd be great while he's on the bench.
Kinsey. Good defense there. Can't save it from going out of bounds, though.
I'm sure they're probably looking at the 10-minute mark to get Scott back in and keep him.
I was going to say, as coach, we always joke about that as announcers, but as coaches, are you aware of the media timeouts and trying to get guys out to give them that little extra extended break?
No question, especially a player of his caliber. I mean, you're going to play him as many minutes as you can, especially in a game like this, two top 20 teams.
Moussa working against hangs, left it short. Good defense by Jacob there. Trevor Kaiser on the drive. That rattles in. First bucket of the game for Trevor Kaiser.
Well, Trevor's a senior. He's been there, done that. He's not afraid of the moments like these. He'll make some big plays down the stretch.
Dragons retake the lead here by 2. Kaiser nearly ripped it away from Ragsdale. PJ Hayes, speaking of first baskets, his first bucket of the game from 3.
I've seen some guys that maybe haven't scored a lot so far in this game, but they've certainly been there on that and made some big plays down the stretch here.
Baumgartner on the block. Inside, good move, couldn't finish. Numbers for the Yellow Jackets. Ragsdale inside with the left. Benninga drives and hits. Good stutter step.
Yeah, just a little hezzy we call it, a little hesitation. That man relaxed just a bit. Obviously, Jacob using his quickness, he gets to the rim.
Hayes inside. Working against Jaden Stanley Williams, got it off glass.
Again, Black Hills doing a nice job retaining the lead without Scott in the game.
Baumgartner up and under.
You think these two teams want to win?
Absolutely. Third game of the year. They know who they're facing. Hackley spins and hits. Boy, 6 straight shots made at both ends. Benninga, again the hesitation. Zimmer can't get the putback. Couple opportunities there for the Dragons, just couldn't quite capitalize. Moussa. Inside, rejected by Zimmer from behind. Zimmer able to corral the loose ball. Both teams still waiting for a whistle, waiting for the under 10 media timeout. We're at 8 minutes now.
Yeah, you've seen some fatigue here on both sides.
Kaiser tried to go high off glass. He got stripped. Zimmer rejected by Cicerek. And the whistle does finally come, but we will get our media timeout. But a good pace and a great back and forth between some hot teams, Black Hills State and MSU Moorhead. Whether it's Scott at one end or Moussa, Yellow Jackets in control by 3.
It's time to focus on you.
Big Montana State at North Dakota, starting at 1 p.m.
Seven minutes and 50 seconds to go in this one. 64-61. Black Hills State with a lead over MSU Moorhead. A great game so far. Again, neither side has led by more than 6 points throughout this contest. Black Hills State's biggest lead is 5. MSU Moorhead's biggest lead is 6. They've always been within 2 possessions for the first 32-plus minutes, and looks like we're going to come down to the wire here.
Yeah, and I tell you, MSUM has 11 offensive rebounds, which has really helped them stay in the game. And they're not shooting as well as Black Hills. Not shooting particularly well from 3 either, but it's amazing what offensive rebounding can do for a team to keep them in a game.
Fadeaway there from McGee.
It's mid-range day today, David.
It is mid-range day.
Good slip on the ball screen.
But Hayes unable to knock down the 3 from the top of the key. Kaiser. A lot of contact, no call. Here's Ragsdale in transition. He'll slow things down for the Yellow Jackets.
Got a match issue now, Gavin on Scott.
Hackley, kick it out. Hearn. That 3 is short. Rebound fought for. Kinsey gets it on the ground for the Dragons. Kaiser. Yellow Jacket bench wanting a carry. Shot clock under 10 for Kinsey now. Kinsey turnaround in the lane.
Is he a senior or is he a freshman?
He's listed as a freshman, but he's playing like a senior.
Good call.
Dragons retake the lead, 65-64. Inside, Scott does not get the roll. Dragons fortunate on that one. McGee got blocked from behind. We'll see who the foul's on, whether it's the block or the reach in. Looks like I'm gonna call Scott first.
Just good job by Lorenzo. Last possession, 2 possessions ago, nice mid-range. Here, text through him. Lorenzo's always really, really good when he starts inside out. Gets the tough buckets, gets the free throw line. And then his 3-point game kind of follows that. He starts with his 3-point game, probably not as effective.
Coach Bergstrasser, talking with him earlier this week, saying, Lorenzo, even if he doesn't shoot all that well, his leadership and his intangibles are always keys out on the floor.
Yeah, and he has great charisma. And players really attached to him. Extremely competitive.
He hits both and lead up to 3 now for the Dragons. Moussa off kilter. Scott, the rebound and the putback. Moussa will claim it's a pass all the way.
It's a good way to get an assist.
Scott up to 22 now for the Yellow Jackets. McGee carried it.
He did. It was a heck of a move. Just carried it a little bit. I don't know. I guess it wasn't a heck of a move. I shouldn't say that because it turned out not to be a move.
If carrying was legal, it'd be a heck of a move.
That's right. Looks like they got a little set coming here.
On the block, it's Ragsdale working against Benninga. Short. Benninga comes out with it. Scott took a tumble at the other end. He's still down. Joel Scott still down at the other end. They're going to have to check on him, and we got a media timeout here. 4:55 to go. It's a one-point game, 67-66. MSU Moorhead with the slimmest margins over Black Hill State.
Dakota Workwear. Jeans,
This enthusiast he had on her community. November 21st on the next Midco Sports Magazine.
(67-66). 1 point edge here for MSU Moorhead. 4:55 to go in the ball game. It's been a great game. Joel Scott leading Black Hill State with 22 points. Adam Moussa has 19. Brandon McGee's got 19. 3 others in double figures for the Dragons. Baumgartner with 13. Zimmer with 11. Kinsey with 10. We're just seeing some high-quality basketball here early in the season. When you can get a high-quality game like this before Thanksgiving, kind of goes to show you what kind of makeup these teams have.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't know that basketball's even going on. There's football season or whatever the fall sport is.
And our officiating crew clarifying that there was just no contact. We're looking during the commercial break on if there was anything nefarious against Joel Scott at the other end, but good to see that Scott is back up and he's okay here for this final 4:55. And what's been a tremendous battle between two high-quality teams. McGee picked off Hackley. Black Hill State 5 in the SID poll, number 10 in the coaches preseason poll. MSU Moorhead, number 19 in the SID poll, number 21 in the preseason coaches poll. Scott drives inside, and the Yellow Jackets retake the lead. Scott with a game-high 24.
Well, and this is where you're going to go to your main guys here. 4 minutes left, 1 point game. This is where your top 2 or 3 players have to make top 2 or 3 plays down the stretch.
Baumgartner took a tough angle inside. Zimmer will go to the line. So Zimmer will go to the line here. Zimmer short on the first.
Well, and I think that's probably good scouting. You could see that they wanted obviously potential foul him. You know, Dane, as good a player he is, has struggled some from the free throw line over his career.
There was that reverse jinx to say he splashes home that second free
that's
throw.
why I did it, see, you know.
68-68. Zimmer with a double-double now, 12 points, 11 rebounds. Scott got the screen, working against Zimmer. Zimmer fell down, no call. They're actually going to call the flop. So count the basket for Scott. And then I believe the new rule changes, there's no more warning.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yes, this is what happens when you retire. Yes, there is no more flop warning. It is immediately a technical foul. So Moussa adds the free throw, so it becomes a de facto three-point play for the Yellow Jackets.
That's a tough one in that situation, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, part of the rule change just so to continue to discourage flopping, but yeah, this is the first year where you're not going to get a warning.
I've only been with you a day, Dave, and I've already learned so much.
There you go. Baumgartner
Nice
up
play.
and under inside.
Well, it's like I said, your big-time players on each team make plays like this.
Baumgartner up to 15 now for MSUM. Moussa the step in the corner. Hackley off on a three. Scott right there somehow got that one to go plus the foul.
Big-time players, last 4 or 5 minutes. I'll say it again. Gavin down here, Scott down here twice, Lorenzo down here. That's just the way the game is.
Scott made that with his elbow. His elbow pushed that ball up. Seemingly impossible, but another chance at a three-point play here. Scott Berry lead is 4 with 3:23 to go, and Scott up to 29. Benninga got the step, hangs, left it short. Board tapped out to Baumgartner. Zimmer got cut off on the baseline. Good pass inside to Baumgartner. Slam and the foul. You're grinning like a proud papa over here. Look at that pass.
I'll tell you what, that was a big-time play by multiple people. I didn't know Gavin could still dunk. He's so old.
Gets the three-point play. Oh, he could dunk. He's had some great dunks in
yes,
this
he
building.
had in this building, yes. Some of his best ever, I might add.
74-73, 1 point game, less than 3 minutes to go.
Nice slip, cleared the side.
Moussa, a little too much on that pass as it's thrown into the fourth row.
Really great execution up until the pass. They slipped it. And they fooled the Dragons a little bit. Good penetration, just didn't execute the pass.
Timeout here, 2:44 to go. It's a 1 point game still. 74-73, Black Hill State and MSU Moorhead. Stay tuned, it's going to be a great finish here on Midcoast Sports.
Together for the first game of catch. We impact your community and what matters to you.
I'm Austin Van Hove, your Modern Women representative.
It's the third game of the season, but it feels like the 33rd game of the season. Got a tournament atmosphere and a tournament type game here. 74-73, Black Hill State, 2:44 to go. Both teams have had the lead multiple times. There have been 15 lead changes in this contest. What makes the difference in these close games?
Well, I think one of the things that's really why MSUM is still in it is their domination on the boards. I mean, I think it's, 42-26 or something like that on the boards. I mean, really just dominated that part of the game, where Black Hill State has probably been better in all the other areas. But there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, so to speak. And, again, the big-time players will make big-time plays down here in 2:30. Set play to go to post for Gavin.
Gavin
travels.
Got his chair taken out from under him by Moussa.
Yeah, nice smart play. That's a veteran play right there.
Turnover for the Dragons here. You get another look, and yeah, Moussa just backed off ever so slightly, and Baumgartner lost his footing. Ragsdale back to Scott.
They're not switching off Scott right now. They're keeping Zimmer on him.
Moussa got the step, kick out, swinging around, Dukic. Short on the corner three. 2 minutes to go in a 1 point game. McGee. Benninga. Three is short. McGee, the offensive rebound, drives, rejected by PJ Hayes. Dukic. That one nearly stolen away by Benninga.
I'll tell you what, that's what makes Jacob so good. And he misses a shot that he'd love to make in a big moment here. Comes down here, almost gets a steal. Moves on to the next play.
30-second timeout taken here by Black Hill State. 1:29 to go. The Yellow Jackets with a slim 1-point lead over the Dragons. They'll have the ball, 16 on the shot clock. I mentioned Joel Scott leading all scorers with 29. Adam Moussa has 20. Brad Hale, the only other player in double figures for the Yellow Jackets with 12. Meanwhile, 4 in double figures for MSU Moorhead, led by Lorenzo McGee's 19. Baumgartner with 18. Zimmer with 12. He got a double-double with 12 points and 11 boards. And Logan Kinsey off the bench with 10. And our officiating crew is double-checking to make sure if Black Hill State will retain possession. Benninga tried to knock it away, get the steal, and they're going to see if Benninga maybe knocked off a Black Hill State player. Call on the floor as Yellow Jackets still have the ball, but they will take a look at that. Again, you're going to look at our leading scorers for Black Hill State. Both teams shooting well in the second half. Black Hill State 52%, MSU Moorhead 48%. You said the offensive rebounds have kept the Dragons in this ball game, Chad, and not a lot of turnovers. 13 for MSU Moorhead, but still, their hustle has kept them in this ball game.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, the effort by both teams, and it's something you just don't say. I mean, it has to actually happen, and I mean these players have been there, done that. It means a lot to them.
Dane Zimmer with the block.
Play. Unbelievable play.
Benninga, Kinsey, baseline jumper short. Zimmer, an offensive rebound. Drake will reset here. Benninga, Baumgartner.
Oh, man.
Baumgartner kind of got bailed out there. He wasn't in complete control, and they're going to get a reach in on Black Hill State against Dukic.
Well, and how about Dane Zimmer? I mean, 2 guys on him, he gets an offensive rebound. I mean, he does things that, sometimes isn't on the stat sheet all the time, or, and he's a quiet player. And then all of a sudden you look at the stat sheets, double-double, like you said. I'm like, I would have never guessed that. You just don't notice it.
Baumgartner, 2 clutch free throws. Dragons retake the lead. 1-point lead for MSU Moorhead with 1 minute to go. Moussa tried to feed it inside, poked away. Zimmer fighting for it. Zimmer a little too aggressive there. He's being called for the personal.
Yeah, it's hard to fault Dane there. That's just an effort play. Just unfortunate. It's the right call.
7th team foul on the Dragons, so it'll be a 1-and-1 situation for Joel Scott. Scott last season a 73% free throw shooter. Hits the front end. Scott up to 30 points now. Hits the second. Clutch free throws on both sides. Yellow Jackets retake the lead, 76-75.
Ball screen, back screen for Zimmer to pop to Gavin. Looking down low.
McGee stops. Off the back iron. Kinsey tapped it over to the Yellow Jackets.
That's okay. I mean, that's a good look. Lorenzo's hit those mid-range games. Their mid-range shots most of the game. Take that every time.
6/10 difference between shot clock and game clock. And with only 17 fouls, you think the Dragons in position to foul here. Joel Scott will take a timeout, though, with those 30 and 6/10 seconds left. So I know you retired to get away from these types of situations, but if you're MSU Moorhead, do you foul immediately? Do you try and go for the steal? How much time do you want to go off intentionally?
Well,
foul?
no matter what, it's a one-possession game, right? Even if they come down and hit free throws. So I think you at least have to go and be very aggressively in the backcourt here, try to get a steal. Comes across, then you try to look at it. who's the worst free throw shooter, and I'm sure they won't put the ball in their hands. So then you foul whoever you have to foul in the front court. But you've got some time to try to make a defensive play yet.
Right, again, 30 and 10 seconds left, but obviously with 30 on the shot clock, you can't afford to play it out defensively. So, you, as you said, you be aggressive. How much time do you want to elapse before they call a foul? Do you want like 5 seconds, 10 seconds? How much time are you allowed?
I think no more than 10 seconds. If it's a little before that, that's just as good, just as well as also. But you don't want it to start dipping down below 20 because you want to. I mean, you want this game to kind of prolong as long as you can.
Scott will inbound for the Yellow Jackets. Get it into Hayes. See Kinsey reaching for it. Again, aggressive with the steal as you mentioned, but he does end up fouling.
Well, and that's okay. I mean, you know, he went for the steal, and you know, certainly Scott's a very good free throw shooter, but
just the 18th foul, so it is still a 1-and-1 situation for Scott. In and out. Still a 1-point game, 25 seconds to go. Dragons down 1.
Now, you probably want to get something good, at least as quick as possible.
Baumgartner inside. Down low.
Pass.
Zimmer hits the lay-in.
Great pass. Great pass. Great poise.
Dragons retake the lead. Under 10 seconds to
They're
go.
going to play without a timeout. Attack.
Moussa driving inside for the win. Yes!
Wow.
Adam Moussa at the buzzer, and Black Hill State with the win over MSU Moorhead. Our officials will take a look, but it looked like Moussa got it off in time.
Well, David, I think it's the mid-range game, right? I mean, just we've seen a lot of big guards make great efforts.
And Moussa indeed did get it off in time. You can see in the background, he got it off with maybe a little more than a second to go. You see the 1.2 in the background. Good. It's a good shot. Heartbreaker for MSU Moorhead, but it is a good basket, and Black Hill State wins it 78-77. We said it was a good game. We were right. Adam Moussa, the turnaround at the buzzer rattles in, and the Yellow Jackets take it over the Dragons by 1.
Across the rural parts of our country, millions of hours of
official streaming app, Midco Sports Club. It doesn't get much better than good old-fashioned North Dakota hockey, and the place to watch it all season long is Midco Sports.
From countdown to puck drop until after the final board.
Midco.
What a game. 78-77 Black Hill State over MSU Moorhead. What a game. 78-77 Black Hill State over MSU Moorhead. Adam Moussa with the turnaround mid-range at the buzzer to give the Yellow Jackets a 1-point victory. Hope you enjoyed this one as much as we did. David Brown back with Chad Walthall, and this might be the one game where you feel relieved that you are not coaching the Dragons.
I didn't miss that at all.
Oh, man.
It was a great game to watch. A lot of fun. Both teams got better today. Both teams. I mean, you know, you're playing great competition. Really going to help them during the conference year for both of them.
And obviously the Dragons a bit of a heartbreaker. They got to go ahead and lay up State with 12 seconds left. Black Hill State can call a timeout. Trust their guys. Adam Moussa made a play again.
Well, not necessarily. They usually call timeout. They trusted players know what they're doing. Obviously, we saw that in the first half. It was a great day for mid-range. It was really impressive. Great guards, make great plays in the lane and at the rim. Scott had phenomenal second half.
31 points for Joel Scott. An amazing second half highlights are brought to you by Modern America and financial representative Austin Van Hill. We said it at either side by 1.6 full game. They see who that ball game the entire time. That keeps you hiking. That's what I want to know. great basketball.
Well, and I think really similar to what you'll see in the NCAA tournament. Both teams very talented, have big guards. Teams are inverted a lot, and again, usually NCAA tournaments, teams don't go away very easily. And both teams have very successful seasons.
And as I mentioned, obviously either side wants to lose, but you said both got better.
Yeah, I mean that's all. Obviously, we're trying to win. And nobody feels good after a tough loss. Coach First Ross and his staff, Black staff, they can feel good about it. How they play because it takes both. You get
Scott out of the game high 31 points. Black State had a game winner at 22 points. And 3 assists for Black State. Here is that buzz beater. Well, they were attacking me, and I had to find out to make it go over the board. But 7 is the 5 here. You're going to look at the 5 numbers. Either side on well 3-point territory. Rebound at plus 19 on the last offensive rebound. But in the end, Black State came out and played different being Black State.
Yeah, I think all 6 seconds haven't had any in the first half. I think you look at those teams like State had advantage in turnover, and obviously more advantage rebound on margin. They kind of went at each other. That's why you have a 1-point game.
Black State again, the 5 CSI cycle coming in 10 preseason poll. MSUM in the 9 in the SI cycle, 21 preseason poll. So you have two fantastic top 5 division team, and then the third game of the season, they play very like 78-77 buzz beating game. What a fantastic experience here at the East-West Challenge in Sioux Falls. Both sides are going to play another game tomorrow. Dragons will face South School of Law, while Black State will face Augustana. Thanks to our entire crew here at San Pentagon and Midco Sports. Chad Hunting, Elemental, in particular, for all the other hard men and women at Midco Sports and San Pentagon, alongside our head coach Chad Ball, David Brown. Thanks for watching this one. Adam Moussa, game winner for Black State.